Thank you for viewing this week's Oregon Minute. Today we are interviewing Don Babineau, who is the new head coach for the Oregon Tradesmen team. Hi, how's it going?
It's good. Good so far.
So tell me, when did you become the head coach of the Oregon Tradesmen?
So it was probably around the April 1st date. My previous team, which is actually in the same division, they had sold due to some of the rink restrictions that they had there. And I've actually known part of the ownership group for quite some time, and they always say when one door closes, another one opens up. So they presented what they, were putting together here in Oregon as far as the tradesmen go, and it was one of those things where, as I've been doing this quite some time, this will be year 22 at this level. So I liked what they had to offer me and thought, you know what, let's go rebuild the program. That's what I guess that's my kind of area. New ownership change, new coaching change, kind of rebuilding. Usually my phone gets blown up with calls to try to do this. So here we are again, starting to create a new new team, new identity, and most importantly, community mentality first is what we're going to be all about.
So tell me what background and skill sets you bring. You say you have a 22-year experience. So what background do you bring to this new head coach
Sure.
position?
Well, I think I mentioned just a little bit. Doing as long as I have, it starts with the passion. You're no longer to play anymore. You still want to be involved in the game. So I started right at the age of 21. And here we are. I've only taken 2 years off to take a step back and coach high school hockey, and you always find yourself, you got a lot of junior life left in you, and then when people try to persuade you to get back into it, it's kind of hard not to. So I think it's more on the passion side, just being able to work with these young adults and help them strive to their goals and dreams, getting to the next level. We're tier 3, so whether it's tier 2, tier 1, most importantly, to try to get them to school, to college. Some will get scholarships, hefty grant money. But again, it's more than hockey here. It's a life experience. Like I said, the community service, depending on the COVID, that's what all of our teams that I've ever coached. We're going to get out into the public. We're going to make sure we make a positive impact wherever we go, whether it's in the grocery store, the way our guys just act in general. So I think the community will be happy with our performance, the product that we put on and off the ice. But I think as far as me bringing to the table, I'd like to believe it's leadership. I run a tight ship. I don't make a lot of trades and things like that. When we have issues, we try to deal with them internally. And again, these kids are still, 18, 19, 20, even a couple of 17-year-olds and one 16-year-old. So we will be a little bit older team this year. We'll have majority of 20-year-olds that are, doing whatever it takes to get to their next hockey destination. So I was fortunate enough last year. I had coached 12 of the players that will be in the tradesmen this year. So I have a very good background, very good history, very good relationship with each and every one of those guys. So I'm excited to not only with the newcomers, but to be able to work with them again a second year, considering how successful we were last year. So I think overall, as long as I have been doing this, it's one of the better group of kids, just as far as how they are on the ice, their work ethic, and human beings in general, right? They're just good people, come from good families, and that's important. That's important what we're trying to do here. Hockey players sometimes are known to walk with a little strut, and I'm okay with that too. But at the same time, it's a life experience here. We want to make sure they're, taking good care of, the rink, the locker room, take care of each other, their billet families. We want them to be treated, like they're one of their kids and vice versa, So we want this to be a tight-knit thing that we're doing here. And again, it's all about the big picture, and there is really one answer why I'm here, why they're there. I know we can talk about getting them to college or the next level, but I think plain and simple, all other coaches at the next level, they want on-ice team success, and we're here to win a championship. We're here to win the division. We'll do whatever it takes, and we're here to hopefully head to the Fraser Cup, and that's the mentality that we're coming into Oregon with, is we're here to win a championship.
So can you tell me about the Oregon Tradesmen model? I looked into a little bit about there was a press release that came out, but tell me about that, how that model is.
Sure. When the ownership group came to me, I've never seen it done as long as I have been doing this, so it was kind of a neat little twist, especially the name being called the Tradesmen. Usually there's a meaning, a purpose behind the team logo, team name, and so what they have been doing, good thing I'm not in charge of it because, it's kind of out of my area, but we have our ownership group and some other people that are working with unions in the local, areas. to kind of give our guys an extra opportunity to do a trade when they're here, make a little bit of money. Again, we want the blue collar worker, not just the guy that mom and dad are going to say, hey, go do your thing. We want them to have options, and not every player will do it, but you have to play for the Oregon Tradesmen. You have to be a full-time student, or you have to work somewhat almost full-time or part-time. So I think it just kind of gives them a little bit more eyesight on there's more to life than hockey. Before you know it, they'll be in the real world, and you know, I think this is only going to benefit them. So when they come to town, we'll have a little bit of a job fair type like with the unions present, and they'll be able to, you know, choose a trade of their choice, and the unions are going to work with kids' schedules to make sure it's not interfering with, you know, the hockey side of it, right? You know, they won't be able, I think, Monday through Friday, nothing on the weekends because we're usually playing a couple games or on the road. So it seems like it's going to be good and fit for everyone. I think it'll be a kind of a little challenging at first, but I think once you know, everything gets rolling and we get started doing it, I'm hoping it will be a big benefit to our players, and you know, just for the whole program itself, because, you know, being in Oregon, in the Madison area, I don't know if it's just because we're called the Tradesmen now. We had a summer camp or summer showcase team, and we went with the bright yellow jerseys, and now that's all I see is the hard hat workers wearing those same colors. So I think it kind of fits the area on what they're trying to do, and yeah, hopefully it'll definitely work out to everyone's favor.
So how are events or tournaments going to work in the age of COVID-19?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be very challenging this year. I was actually on a Central League division call, Zoom call this morning, and everyone's kind of pitching kind of where their state is at as far as you know, different restrictions and things you can and can't do. You know, the league has a protocol itself. Our team has a protocol. Our billet families through the team has a protocol. So just a lot of protocols. You know, the first month or so, we actually have to play at a different rink for our home games due to Dane County. And we're not the only ones. There's a lot of teams within USA Hockey, you know, junior hockey in general, that have to do the exact same thing. So it wasn't the ideal plan to come in here and have it this way. You know, we were hoping to, you know, put some butts in the seats and show the product that we have. But unfortunately, you know, safety's got to be first and foremost. And I think the league in USA Hockey has done a fabulous job just, you know, tabling what needs to be done. And it's us, you know, up to us coaches to make sure we follow through, because it only takes one player to go down and we're back to ground zero again. And so I think everyone just needs to, you know, play their part. But it will be challenging. It's just a matter of, you know, the protocols and just making sure we're doing it for the safety of our, you know, kids, staff members, fans, everybody. Yeah. So I think for the most part, this is going to be a new, different look of junior hockey this year. But, you know, the kids need to be out here, you know, for the mental health side of things. We have to at least try it and give it a whirl, and hopefully things will be more on the positive side, the negative side. But time will tell. It's always changing. Some states are doing better than others, and others are doing horrible. But again, we can only do what we can do, control what we can control, and if we do our part and everyone else does, hopefully we'll have a good outcome.
Mm-hmm. What are some of those, like, what are some of the protocols that are
I think that's basic. I mean, there's a whole list of them. I would be here a while if I went through each and every one of them, but it's just as simple, you know, if a player isn't feeling well, you know, when they come to the rink, we'll take kind of roll call, their temperature. Before we head on the road, we have to have basically everyone, I don't know if it's tested, but if there's any symptoms, then we're forced to get them tested before we go on the road. So if a kid does get COVID during the season, we will send him back to his native home, whatever state, country that is, to make sure he can quarantine away from, you know, all the others. So I think the main protocol is just, you know, taking attendance, making sure everyone feels, you know, up to date. They don't have any COVID symptoms. You know, temp checks, masks. We actually just got some new very nice team logo masks in. So, you know, anything to help motivate them to be safe, extra hand sanitizers, you name it. It's just taking the extra precautions. So I think the biggest thing is just making sure they're symptom free. And if a kid does have, you know, some sort of symptom like, you know, for COVID, it might not be, but you have to take that precaution to say, you know what, maybe today is a day you stay home, or maybe you don't come on the road with us, and maybe it's forcing them to go get tested, because as players and kids, they're going to try to avoid it at all cost. And I think that's going to be a challenge for us, because hockey players are known to fight through things, and we just have to emphasize that this is one of those things you can't fight through. You just have to understand the circumstances, and we have to deal with it the way that it needs to be dealt with. Otherwise, it's going to affect, and it's just going to keep putting us backwards. And so I think for the most part, the pretty much basics, all the rinks are doing the same. When we do have teams come on the road, I know we had a certain amount of hotels. We do switch offs, so now we did it on the conference call today. We're going to have more rooms. We used to share food where guys would get a bunch of pizzas, and now it's breaking things down to have an individual box meals for the guys before they get back on the bus. So it's small things like that. Team dinners might not be as frequent as they used to be, because at a restaurant having 20 plus 23 kids might not be availability. So I think for the most part, it's you hope it goes well, but right now there are some small things, small detailed things, like I just mentioned, that and we're going to do whatever we have to do. The locker rooms, yeah, they're all going to be in there together, but it's like on the coat or on the mask side. Us coaches, we don't have to wear them on the ice during practice, but during games we will have to wear them as well. So I think we're doing our best to try to accept it. And it's very hard to swallow, but again, it's a safety first kind of thing we have to worry about here.
Mm-hmm. What is the name? What is the team name, Oregon Tradesmen? Like, what does that mean to you?
You can look at it a few ways, and there's only one way that I look at it. I just mentioned, I've seen a lot of the blue collar workers around. I went out to lunch the other day and by myself, and there was probably 10 guys. You can tell from different companies. So it's a blue collar worker type of player that we want here. And I think Oregon is such a small, neat town. I think, that logo is going to be represented with class all the time. I hope I don't have to defend myself on that one in the future to come. But I think that's what we look for in our players, is blue-collar workers, guys that want to come in here, they want to learn, but they want to work for what they want. I mean, if you want to go play college hockey, then the opportunity's right here. You have all the tools to make it happen. You have the coaching staff that's very knowledgeable, including my 3 assistants. You have one of the most solid ownership groups, I'd like to believe, in all junior hockey. Now it's up to you. We got a good head start on, like I mentioned, the players that had followed me. So we have a lot of good foundation here. I'm not exactly where I want to be to win that championship yet, but we're close. We're very close. But again, it's about your work, your work ethic every day, the structure that we have, and overall just the atmosphere, the environment we're trying to create here. But again, it all comes down to the blue collar worker. That's to be a tradesman. But again, you don't always have to do a trades job, but we have some kids that are going to focus more on school, and some kids are going to want to go to trade. As we know, the trades are becoming a big thing these days, not just college. There's a lot of kids that go off to school and spend a lot of money, and it doesn't pay off. A lot of friends that are making 6 figures doing a trade job, so I think that option there, it's more than just having the college option. We're having a trades option as well. But again, it just all comes down to putting in the work, putting in the time, and doing things the right way. I think we got all the guys on the bus that we need to get it rolling, and I'm pretty confident in that. But again, to answer your question, the tradesman logo to me means you're going to come in here and you're going to adapt to change when needed, but you're going to give your 110% with your heart and your mind, and you're going to be the best teammate that you possibly can, and you're going to be one of those guys that's going to make a difference in the community. So I think there's a few ways I can put it, but right now it's all about the blue-collar worker.
Well, I think that answers all of my questions, unless you have anything else you would like to add.
No, the only thing I would add is, the first month, obviously it's going to be difficult. We're trying to get out and get fans in the building to see what kind of product we have, and give them something to do on a Friday, Saturday night. But we want them to, let them know that you are able to buy you are able to buy a membership online to be able to watch us wherever we are. So I think that's going to be a big hit this year until we can actually get some fans in the seats. But hopefully we can get this thing off and running. And I guess there's really not much more to say. We're excited to be here. I've been around town, and to have that small knit community with just Madison not too far away, I think I like that. You know, you can kind of keep your kids under watch, and we just want to make sure that we're setting a good example for the little kids. And, you know, when people think about the Tradesman logo, we want them to think, boy, that's a Tradesman player, or, oh, did you see the game last night? So these are very important things to me, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that we are a positive impact, you know, here in Oregon.
Well, thank you for coming on the Oregon Minute
Absolutely.
today. Thank you for watching this week's Oregon Minute. Tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m.